Did you know that nearly 40% of adults over 65 have prediabetes or diabetes? Yet most have no idea that the simple beverage they're already drinking could be their secret weapon. Research from major medical centers suggests that specific teas can lower fasting blood sugar by up to 12 milligrams per deciliter in just 8 weeks. That's the equivalent of what some medications achieve. But here's what they don't tell you in those glossy health magazines. The tea industry has been hiding 5 game-changing preparation methods that multiply these blood sugar benefits by 3 to 5 times. Most people are brewing their tea completely wrong, drinking it at the worst possible times, and missing the most powerful varieties altogether. You're about to discover why your grandmother's simple cup of tea might be more effective than expensive supplements, and how a 90-second brewing trick can turn any ordinary tea into a blood sugar balancing powerhouse. I'm going to share 5 tea hacks that could change everything about how you manage your glucose levels. Number 5 will surprise you because it involves a tea most people think is just for relaxation. But number 1 is the most shocking because it contradicts everything you've been told about caffeine and diabetes. Before we dive in, drop a comment and let me know your age and where you're watching from. I love seeing our community grow. The truth buried in recent studies shows something remarkable. When researchers compared people drinking regular sweetened tea versus those using these specific methods, the difference was staggering. The regular tea drinkers actually increased their diabetes risk by 20% over 5 years. But those using the proper techniques reduced their risk by up to 33%. That's a 53% swing in opposite directions from the same basic beverage. Your doctor probably mentioned cutting back on sugar and exercising more. Sound advice, but incomplete. What if I told you that the timing of when you drink certain teas can be more powerful than skipping dessert? Or that one simple addition to your cup can prevent blood sugar spikes for 6 hours after eating? These aren't miracle claims. They're documented effects from peer-reviewed research that somehow never makes it to mainstream advice. Here's the problem with most tea guidance for seniors. It treats all teas the same, ignores medication interactions that matter at your age, and completely misses the preparation methods that unlock the real benefits. Plus, much of the research focuses on younger adults who process caffeine and compounds differently than those over 60. You deserve information tailored to your body's current needs, not generic advice from studies done on 20-somethings. Tea hack number 5 is going to surprise you, and it starts with understanding why most people fail with tea for blood sugar control. They're using the wrong type entirely. Most people reach for whatever tea bag is convenient, usually black tea loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners. This is the biggest mistake you can make if you're serious about blood sugar control. Research from multiple institutions shows that black tea, while beneficial in some ways, ranks lowest among the 5 most effective teas for glucose management. It contains helpful compounds called theaflavins, but the concentrations are too low to make a real difference. The surprise winner for tea hack number 5 is chamomile tea. Most people think of chamomile as just a bedtime drink for relaxation. But here's what the research shows. A study with 64 people with diabetes found remarkable results. Participants who drank 5 ounces of chamomile tea made with 3 grams of chamomile 3 times per day after meals for 8 weeks experienced significant reductions in both hemoglobin A1C and insulin levels compared to those who didn't drink the tea. But here's the key most people miss. It's not just drinking chamomile tea, it's when and how you prepare it that matters. Let me tell you about Margaret, 72, a retired librarian from Ohio. She came to me frustrated because her morning blood sugar readings were consistently above 140, even with medication. Margaret had been drinking chamomile tea for years, but only at bedtime. I suggested she switch to drinking it after her largest meal of the day instead. Within 2 weeks, her post-meal spikes dropped by an average of 35 points. After 2 months, her doctor reduced her medication dose. Here's your chamomile protocol. Use 3 grams of dried chamomile flowers, not tea bags, which often contain less active compounds. Pour 8 ounces of boiling water over the flowers and steep for exactly 10 minutes. This longer steeping time is crucial because it extracts more of the blood sugar-lowering compounds, particularly apigenin. Drink this preparation 30 minutes after your evening meal, when blood sugar typically spikes the highest. The safety note for seniors matters here. Chamomile is generally safe, but if you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, check with your doctor first. The herb can slightly enhance the effects of these medications. Also, if you're allergic to ragweed, daisies, or chrysanthemums, you might react to chamomile as well. But chamomile is just the beginning. Tea hack number 4 addresses the biggest mistake people make with green tea, and fixing it can triple the benefits. Green tea gets all the attention for blood sugar control, and rightfully so. Multiple studies show that green tea can reduce fasting blood glucose by about 2 milligrams per deciliter compared to drinking water or placebo. The active compound responsible is epigallocatechin galati, or EGCG for short. This powerful antioxidant helps your muscle cells take up glucose more efficiently, essentially making your body's insulin work better. But here's where most people go wrong, especially seniors. They drink 1 cup of weak green tea and expect miracles. The research shows you need at least 4 cups per day to see meaningful blood sugar benefits. That's a lot of caffeine for someone over 65, especially if you're sensitive to stimulants or take certain medications. The hack that changes everything is the cold brew method combined with strategic timing. Here's what I taught Robert, 68, a retired mechanic from Texas. Robert loved his morning coffee, but knew he needed to add green tea for his prediabetes. The problem was that 4 cups of hot green tea on top of coffee made him jittery and disrupted his sleep. We switched to cold brewing 4 green tea bags in 32 ounces of cold water overnight. This method extracts more beneficial compounds while reducing caffeine content by about 40%. Robert now drinks 8 ounces of cold brewed green tea 4 times throughout the day. 8 ounces with breakfast, 8 ounces mid-morning, 8 ounces with lunch, and the final 8 ounces around 3 p.m. to avoid sleep interference. Within 6 weeks, his fasting glucose dropped from 110 to 98. His doctor was amazed. The cold brew protocol works like this. Use 4 high-quality green tea bags or 4 teaspoons of loose-leaf green tea. Add 32 ounces of cold, filtered water. Refrigerate for 12 to 24 hours. Remove the tea bags or strain out the leaves. This gives you your daily supply of blood sugar-lowering green tea without the caffeine overload. Timing is critical for seniors. Drink your first 8 ounces 30 minutes before breakfast. This primes your system to handle the morning glucose rise that naturally occurs as cortisol levels peak. The second serving goes mid-morning when many people experience an energy crash and reach for sugary snacks. The third serving 30 minutes before lunch helps blunt the post-meal spike. The final serving in early afternoon provides sustained support without interfering with sleep. Safety considerations matter more as we age. If you're taking blood-thinning medications, green tea can enhance their effects. If you're on diabetes medications, monitor your blood sugar closely as the tea may enhance the medication's effects, potentially requiring dosage adjustments. And if you have iron deficiency anemia, drink green tea between meals rather than with food, as it can interfere with iron absorption. The transformation doesn't stop there. Tea hack number 3 involves a spice that most people add to desserts. But when prepared correctly, it becomes more powerful than many prescription medications. Cinnamon tea ranks among the most effective natural interventions for blood sugar control. But most people prepare it completely wrong. They sprinkle a little cinnamon powder into hot water and call it tea. This method wastes most of the active compounds and provides minimal benefits. The real power comes from understanding which type of cinnamon to use and the proper extraction method. There are 2 main types of cinnamon. Cassia cinnamon, which is common in grocery stores, contains higher levels of coumarin, a compound that can be harmful to the liver in large doses, especially for seniors. Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, contains much less coumarin and higher concentrations of the blood, sugar-lowering compounds we want. Recent analysis published in the Journal of Herbal Medicine found that daily cinnamon tea made properly can reduce fasting glucose by an average of 12 milligrams per deciliter after 8 weeks. That's comparable to some medications, but without the side effects. The game-changing preparation method involves whole cinnamon sticks and proper extraction time. Here's the story of Eleanor, 74, a retired teacher from Florida. Eleanor's blood sugar was creeping up despite her best efforts with diet and exercise. Her doctor was talking about adding medication, but Eleanor wanted to try natural approaches first. She had been adding cinnamon powder to her coffee each morning, but her blood sugar remained elevated. I taught her the proper cinnamon tea protocol. Eleanor started using 3 Ceylon cinnamon sticks in 4 cups of water, bringing it to a boil, then reducing heat and simmering for 15 minutes. This long extraction time is crucial because it pulls out the water-soluble compounds that affect blood sugar, including cinnamaldehyde and cinnamic acid. Eleanor would prepare this batch every other day and drink it throughout the day. Within 3 weeks, her morning fasting glucose dropped from 128 to 112. After 2 months, it stabilized at 104. Her doctor was impressed and agreed to postpone medication discussions. Your cinnamon tea protocol starts with buying true Ceylon cinnamon sticks, not powder. You'll find these in health food stores or online. They're lighter in color than cassia cinnamon and have a sweeter, more delicate flavor. Take 3 sticks and add them to 4 cups of cold water in a pot. Bring to a boil, then reduce heat and simmer for exactly 15 minutes. Cover the pot and let it cool completely. You can drink this hot or cold, and it will keep in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. The optimal timing is to drink 8 ounces 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day. This primes your system to handle the incoming glucose more effectively. You can drink the remaining portions throughout the day, but avoid drinking large amounts late in the evening as some people find cinnamon slightly stimulating. Safety matters, especially for seniors. Even Ceylon cinnamon should be limited to no more than 6 grams per day, which is about 3 sticks. If you're taking any diabetes medications, monitor your blood sugar closely as cinnamon can enhance their effects. Also, cinnamon can interact with blood-thinning medications, so check with your doctor if you're on warfarin or similar drugs. The effectiveness increases when you understand the mechanism. Cinnamon compounds slow the release of glucose into your bloodstream after meals, enhance your cell's ability to take up glucose, and improve insulin sensitivity. It's like giving your body's natural glucose control system a significant upgrade. But we're just getting started. Tea hack number 2 will shock you because it involves a beautiful red tea that most people think is just for flavor, but it's actually more powerful than green tea for blood sugar control. Hibiscus tea flies under the radar, but research shows it might be the most underestimated tool for blood sugar management. Most people know hibiscus as that tart, cranberry-like tea with the gorgeous red color. What they don't know is that this flower contains compounds that can regulate blood sugar through multiple pathways simultaneously. The anthocyanins in hibiscus, the same compounds that give it that beautiful red color, can inhibit the activity of pancreatic and intestinal enzymes that break down carbohydrates. This means less glucose gets absorbed into your bloodstream after meals. Additionally, hibiscus has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, helping your cells use glucose more effectively. Recent research found that hibiscus tea can significantly lower fasting blood glucose levels. But here's where it gets interesting for seniors. The same study showed that hibiscus is particularly effective for people over 60 because it also addresses blood pressure, which often rises alongside blood sugar issues as we age. The preparation method that unlocks maximum benefits differs completely from how most people make hibiscus tea. Let me share the story of James, 69, a retired electrician from Arizona. James was dealing with both elevated blood pressure and creeping blood sugar levels. His doctor had started him on medication for blood pressure and was monitoring his glucose levels closely. James didn't want to add diabetes medication if he could avoid it. James had tried hibiscus tea before, but found it too tart and gave up after a few days. I showed him how to prepare it properly for maximum benefit. Instead of using tea bags, we switched to dried hibiscus flowers. Instead of steeping for just 5 minutes, we extended it to exactly 15 minutes. And instead of drinking it randomly, we timed it strategically. James prepared his hibiscus tea by adding 2 tablespoons of dried hibiscus flowers to 4 cups of boiling water. covering it and letting it steep for 15 minutes. This longer steeping time extracts more of the beneficial compounds. He would strain out the flowers and drink 8 ounces 3 times per day. 1 cup first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, 1 cup 30 minutes before lunch, and 1 cup mid-afternoon. Within 6 weeks, James's fasting glucose dropped from 118 to 106. His blood pressure also improved enough that his doctor reduced his medication dose. The key was consistency and proper preparation. Your hibiscus protocol requires dried hibiscus flowers, not tea bags. The flowers contain higher concentrations of active compounds. You can find them in health food stores, Mexican markets where they're called Jamaica, or online. Use 2 tablespoons of dried flowers per 4 cups of water. Bring water to a full boil. Pour over the flowers, cover completely, and steep for exactly 15 minutes. Strain out all plant material. The timing strategy maximizes benefits. Your first 8-ounce serving goes down first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This kickstarts your glucose regulation for the day. The second serving comes 30 minutes before your largest meal, typically lunch or dinner. This primes your system to handle the incoming carbohydrates more effectively. The third serving can be mid-afternoon or evening, but not too close to bedtime, as some people find the natural acids mildly stimulating. Safety considerations are crucial for seniors. Hibiscus can lower blood pressure, so if you're on blood pressure medications, monitor your readings closely and work with your doctor. The tea can also enhance the effects of diabetes medications, potentially requiring dosage adjustments. If you're taking diuretics, be aware that hibiscus has mild diuretic properties that could be enhanced. Also, hibiscus contains natural acids that can affect tooth enamel over time. Drink it through a straw when possible and rinse your mouth with plain water afterward. If you have a history of kidney stones, limit hibiscus tea as it contains compounds that could contribute to stone formation in susceptible individuals. The flavor can be tart, but don't add sugar or artificial sweeteners, as these defeat the blood sugar benefits. Instead, try adding a slice of lemon or a stick of cinnamon during brewing. Some people enjoy it iced, which can make the tartness more refreshing. But even hibiscus pales in comparison to tea hack number 1, and this is going to completely change how you think about caffeine and diabetes. Everything you've been told about caffeine and blood sugar is wrong, especially for seniors. The conventional wisdom says that caffeine raises blood sugar and should be avoided by people with diabetes or prediabetes. This advice is based on short-term studies that miss the bigger picture and ignore the most recent research on a specific type of tea that actually improves with age. The tea that changes everything is Pu-erh tea, a fermented dark tea from China that most Americans have never heard of. Unlike other teas that are best when fresh, Pu-erh improves with age, as beneficial bacteria continue to ferment the leaves. This fermentation process creates unique compounds called theobromines that have remarkable effects on blood sugar metabolism. Recent research presented at the European Association for the Study of Diabetes showed that people who drink dark tea like Pu-erh every day had 15% lower odds of developing diabetes. Even more impressive, they showed increased glucose excretion through urine and reduced insulin resistance. This means their bodies were actually getting better at processing sugar. Here's what makes this shocking. Pu-erh tea contains more caffeine than green tea, yet it improves blood sugar control more effectively. The reason lies in those unique fermented compounds that work differently in the body than regular caffeine. The preparation and timing protocol for Pu-erh completely contradicts traditional advice about caffeine and diabetes. Let me tell you about Dorothy, 76, a retired nurse from Michigan. Dorothy knew about nutrition and had tried everything for her prediabetes. She avoided caffeine completely because every article told her it would spike her blood sugar. Her glucose levels remained stubbornly high despite perfect dietary compliance. When I suggested Pu-erh tea, she was skeptical because of the caffeine content. Dorothy started with the proper Pu-erh protocol. She would take 1 tablespoon of loose Pu-erh tea and rinse it quickly with hot water to remove any impurities, a traditional step called washing the tea. Then she would add 8 ounces of water heated to exactly 200 degrees Fahrenheit and steep for 3 to 5 minutes. The key was drinking this 45 minutes before her morning meal, when cortisol naturally peaks and blood sugar tends to rise. The results surprised everyone, including Dorothy's doctor. Her morning fasting glucose, which had been consistently around 125, dropped to 108 within 4 weeks. Her post-meal spikes were significantly reduced. The caffeine she was so worried about actually seemed to enhance her glucose control rather than harm it. The science behind this paradox involves the fermentation compounds in Pu-erh. Theobrownins help regulate genes involved in glucose metabolism. They activate pathways that improve insulin sensitivity and enhance cellular glucose uptake. The caffeine works synergistically with these compounds rather than against them. Your Pu-erh protocol starts with finding quality tea. Look for authentic Pu-erh from reputable tea suppliers, not flavored versions or blends. Pu-erh comes in 2 varieties. Sheng or raw Pu-erh is aged naturally and can be quite strong. Shu or ripe Pu-erh is artificially fermented and has a smoother, earthier flavor that most beginners prefer. The preparation ritual matters for extracting maximum benefits. Use 1 tablespoon of loose tea per 8 ounces of water. Heat water to exactly 200 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling. First, pour a small amount of hot water over the tea, swirl it around, and discard this first pour. This washing step removes any dust and prepares the leaves. Then add your full 8 ounces of water and steep for 3 to 5 minutes for your first infusion. Quality Pu-erh can be steeped multiple times, with each infusion offering slightly different flavors and compounds. The timing strategy is crucial and counterintuitive. Drink your Pu-erh tea 45 minutes before your first meal of the day, not with food. This allows the compounds to prepare your system for the incoming glucose. The caffeine content is higher in the morning when your body can handle it best, and when cortisol levels naturally peak. Safety considerations for seniors include monitoring blood pressure, as the caffeine can cause temporary increases in some people. If you're on blood-thinning medications, Pu-erh can enhance their effects. Start with half doses if you're sensitive to caffeine, and avoid drinking it after 2 p.m. to prevent sleep interference. The remarkable thing about Pu-erh is that the benefits seem to improve over time, both the tea itself and its effects on your body. The fermentation continues even after purchase, and your glucose control typically improves the longer you use this protocol. Quality matters enormously with Pu-erh. Cheap versions may contain additives or be improperly fermented. Look for tea that comes with information about its origin and age. Properly stored Pu-erh can last for decades and continues to improve. The flavor takes getting used to. Pu-erh has an earthy, sometimes musty taste that's completely different from other teas. Some people describe it as tasting like rich soil or aged wood. This comes from the fermentation process and is completely normal. The flavor mellows with subsequent steepings from the same leaves. Storage of Pu-erh differs from other teas. It should be kept in a breathable container, not airtight, as the beneficial bacteria need some air circulation to continue their work. A traditional bamboo wrapper or paper package works well. Avoid plastic containers or completely sealed jars. The glucose regulation effects compound over time. Many people notice improvements within 2 to 4 weeks, but the full benefits often take 2 to 3 months to manifest as your body adjusts to the unique compounds in fermented tea. Now let me share how to combine these 5 tea hacks for maximum blood sugar control. The key is rotation and timing, not drinking all 5 teas simultaneously. Start your day with Pu-erh tea 45 minutes before breakfast. This sets your glucose regulation tone for the entire day. Mid-morning, switch to cold brewed green tea. This maintains steady energy without the afternoon crash. Before your largest meal, choose between cinnamon tea or hibiscus tea, depending on whether you need more insulin sensitivity support or carbohydrate absorption blocking. End your day with chamomile tea after dinner to help process the evening meal and prepare for restorative sleep. The weekly rotation keeps your body from adapting too completely to any single approach. Monday and Tuesday might focus on Pu-erh and green tea. Wednesday and Thursday could emphasize hibiscus and cinnamon. Friday through Sunday might feature different combinations based on your social schedule and meal timing. Preparation becomes efficient when you batch brew. Sunday evening, prepare your week's supply of cold brew green tea. Make a large batch of cinnamon tea that lasts 3 days. Keep dried hibiscus flowers ready for quick 15-minute preparations. Store quality Pu-erh properly, so it's ready for morning rituals. The progression should be gradual, especially for seniors. Start with 1 tea for 2 weeks to assess your body's response and any interactions with medications. Add the second tea only after you're comfortable with the first. Build up to the full rotation over 2 months, rather than jumping in immediately. Monitor your results using a simple blood glucose meter if possible. Track your fasting glucose weekly and note patterns related to different teas. Many people see improvements within 2 to 3 weeks, but full benefits often take 2 to 3 months as your body's glucose regulation systems adapt. Medication interactions require careful attention. All of these teas can potentially enhance the effects of diabetes medications, blood pressure medications, and blood-thinning drugs. Work with your healthcare provider to monitor these effects and adjust dosages as needed. Never stop medications without medical supervision, even if your glucose control improves dramatically. The cost comparison to supplements and medications makes this approach extremely attractive. A month's supply of quality teas costs less than most blood sugar supplements and far less than prescription medications. The additional health benefits, from antioxidants to improved cardiovascular health, provide value beyond glucose control alone. Seasonal adjustments keep the routine sustainable. Hot preparations work well in cooler months, while iced versions of hibiscus and green tea are refreshing in summer. Cinnamon tea feels perfect during autumn and winter holidays. Pu-erh provides grounding warmth during stressful periods. Travel considerations matter for maintaining consistency. Pu-erh travels well in small portions. Cold brew green tea can be prepared in hotel rooms. Hibiscus flowers pack easily and brew quickly anywhere. Cinnamon sticks are travel-friendly and won't spill like powders. The social aspects can enhance compliance. Sharing properly prepared tea with family and friends creates accountability and enjoyment. Teaching others these preparation methods reinforces your own knowledge and commitment. Many seniors find that tea preparation becomes a mindful, stress-reducing ritual that benefits blood sugar control indirectly through stress reduction. Long-term sustainability requires flexibility and enjoyment. If you dislike the taste of any particular tea, find preparation methods that work better for you or substitute with alternatives. The goal is blood sugar improvement, not perfect adherence to rigid protocols. The evidence continues to accumulate in favor of tea-based approaches to blood sugar control. Large-scale studies are underway examining these effects in older adults specifically. The preliminary results suggest that what we're seeing in smaller studies will likely be confirmed in broader populations. Remember that tea is not a replacement for proven medical treatments, but it can be a powerful addition to your overall diabetes prevention and management strategy. The key is consistency, proper preparation, and working with your healthcare team to monitor effects and adjust treatments as needed. Your journey with tea for blood sugar control should be viewed as a long-term lifestyle change rather than a short-term intervention. The compounds in these teas work gradually to improve your body's natural glucose regulation mechanisms. Patience and consistency will be rewarded with sustainable improvements. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity and accessibility. Unlike expensive supplements or complex dietary restrictions, quality tea is available almost everywhere. The preparation methods are straightforward once learned, and the cost is minimal compared to other interventions. These 5 tea hacks represent thousands of years of traditional use combined with modern scientific validation. From the fermented complexity of Pu-erh to the simple elegance of chamomile, each offers unique mechanisms for supporting healthy blood sugar levels in ways that work with your body's natural processes, rather than against them. The transformation many people experience goes beyond blood sugar numbers. Better glucose control often leads to improved energy levels, clearer thinking, better sleep quality, and reduced cravings for sugary foods. These secondary benefits can create a positive cycle that supports long-term health and wellness. As you begin implementing these tea hacks, pay attention to your body's signals and responses. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine, others to natural acids in certain teas. Adjust quantities and timing based on your individual tolerance and response patterns. The investment in quality tea and proper preparation tools pays dividends in both health outcomes and daily enjoyment. A good temperature-controlled kettle, quality tea storage containers, and a reliable strainer or infuser make the process more efficient and effective. Consider keeping a simple tea journal to track which preparations and timing work best for your lifestyle and glucose control goals. Note patterns between different teas and your blood sugar readings, energy levels, and overall well-being. The community aspect of tea culture can provide additional motivation and support. Connecting with others who share an interest in tea for health can provide recipe ideas, source recommendations, and encouragement for maintaining consistent habits. Remember that seasonal and life changes may require adjustments to your tea protocols. Stress, travel, illness, medication changes, and even weather can affect how your body responds to different teas. Flexibility and willingness to adapt will serve you well. The knowledge you've gained about these 5 tea hacks puts you ahead of most people when it comes to natural blood sugar management. The key now is consistent application and patience as your body adapts to these beneficial compounds. Quality control becomes important as you source teas for regular consumption. Establish relationships with reputable suppliers who can provide information about origin, processing, and storage of their teas. This ensures you're getting the active compounds that provide the blood sugar benefits. The synergy between these different tea types means that rotating among them provides broader benefits than sticking to just one variety. Each tea works through different mechanisms, so variety ensures comprehensive support for glucose regulation. Environmental factors can affect tea preparation and potency. Water quality, storage conditions, and brewing temperatures all impact the final concentrations of active compounds. Attention to these details maximizes the blood sugar benefits you're seeking. The integration of these tea habits into your existing daily routines will determine long-term success. Find ways to link tea preparation and consumption to activities you already do consistently, creating natural triggers for maintaining the habit. Recovery from setbacks, whether from travel, illness, or simple forgetfulness, should be approached with self-compassion and immediate return to beneficial habits, rather than guilt or abandonment of the entire approach. The evidence base for tea-based blood sugar management continues to grow, with new studies regularly adding to our understanding of optimal preparation methods, timing, and individual variations in response. Your personal experimentation within the safety guidelines will help you discover the specific combinations and protocols that work best for your unique physiology, preferences, and lifestyle demands. The long-term vision should encompass tea as one component of a comprehensive approach to healthy aging that includes appropriate medical care, regular physical activity, stress management, and social connection. Success with these tea hacks often motivates people to explore other evidence-based natural approaches to health maintenance, creating a foundation for overall wellness that extends far beyond blood sugar control alone. Which of these 5 tea hacks surprised you the most, and which one will you try first? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me about your experience once you've given it a try.